सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ॐ श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः। ॐ श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। So we were in the topic brahmanaha satyatva-upapattih. In this context, for Brahman to be Satya, we gave the Anuvrittattvam as the Hetu, and Mithya means whatever is Vyavritta or whatever is distinct or replaceable or changing, they are all Mithya. Whatever is invariably present in each and every cognition, whatever is always there in the same form, unchanging reality, invariable reality, that alone is real. That alone is Satya. That is what we are arguing. Now, Sudarshana has said that there is nothing like that. Everything is only Vyavrita. Everything is distinct, separate. And once they are distinct and separate, they are also limited, means they can be replaced. And limited things are subjected to space-time, means they are also changing in space-time. All these things. But they consider the Sat itself as a dharma of each and every distinct entity. For us, Sat itself is an entity. That is the difference. And we are arguing that everything in the city is not Vyavrita or distinct, correct? For example, if you have a clay pot, the clay and pot are not distinct. In fact, in one cognition, there is both clay and pot together. They are not distinct from each other. In fact, you cannot establish a pot as an entity distinct from its karana, which is clay. So, karana vyatirekena karya upalabdhi itself is not there. Correct? You cannot cognize the karya without cognizing its upadana karana. Therefore, that is what we are arguing now, that karana has anuvritti in different karyas. Correct? A karana can have multiple karyas, and that karana continues even though the karya nama rupas are changing, because the mrid itself can be in the form of churna to start with. Right? It can be some powder, and then when it becomes a pot, when you break the pot, it becomes whatever, shards and all that we say, correct? So the karya nama rupa can keep on changing, but the karana anuvritti is there through all that. Therefore, and also time wise also, before the karya, karana is there. During the karya's existence also, karana is there. And after the karya becomes unmanifest or destroyed also, karana is there. So, karyasya purvottara kalayoho karanameva avatisthate. This is what the last sentence we saw, correct? Yadi nasti tarhi kasya karanam karana rupatvam uchyate, then what? Tasmat karyasya purvottara kalayoho karanameva avatisthate natu karyamiti katham asataha karyasya sabda vachyatvam. So they are saying karya itself can be referred with the sat shabda. We do not accept that. Okay, because the karya, they are arguing that karya is there even before it is born in the form of karana, correct? We don't accept that. So karya is not there in the form of karana before its creation or production, and therefore karana is not there before, karya is not there before, karya is not there after its destruction, only karana is there. Therefore, how can this karya, which is asat, be the meaning of the word sat? Sat Shabda Vachyatva, Sat means existent. Karya doesn't have an existence of its own. That's what we are saying. It is all only borrowed existence, or its existence depends on the Karana. It doesn't have an independent existence. Okay, continuing here what? Yadi asadapi vastu satshabda vachyam tari sashashringadikam api sadeva bhaved. Okay, so now if you say no, no, let the asat also have satshabda vachyatva. Means then you can as well say that Shashashringa also is there. Atyanta asat, like hairs on or barren woman son, these are all basically unholy compounds. Let them also be Sat, no? Why are you classifying it as Atyanta Asat? Even Dvaitis accept Atyanta Asat. So let them also be Shashabda Vachya. So that cannot be said. Okay. So न केवलं पूर्वोत्तरकालयोः एव कार्यस्य असत्वं किन्तु कार्यकालेऽपि also another thing is what previously we said that the karya is not there before its creation and after its destruction. Okay, purvottara kalayoho karya is not there. But not only that, karya is asat even while it is being cognized. Because karana alone is really there. Karya doesn't have an independent existence. It cannot exist as an entity other than its upadana karana. Here it is written as karyasya. I think it's a printing mistake. It's karyasya asatvam. Okay, and kintu karya kalepi means what? When the karya is cognized also, during the sthiti kala of the karya, also it is not there separately. It doesn't have any existence of its own. And how do we say that? He is explaining, nahi ghata kalepi vrit vyatiriktaha ghata rupa karyaha kaschid upalabhyate. Here also there is some spelling, printing mistake, I think. It should be just karyaha. Karyashaha or something is there, which is, I think, printing mistake. Okay, so what we are saying is nahi ghata kalepi. When the ghata is cognized also, you cannot have a ghata independent of its material. Correct? Independent of its upadana karana. So mrid vyatiriktaha ghata rupa karyaha kaschita upalabhyate. So other than the mrid, separately as ghata, you cannot cognize anything. Therefore what? Okay, once we say this, what? They come back. Purva Pakshi is saying, Kambuk Grivadi Akara Upalambha. So Kambuk Grivadi Akara Upalambha is there, he is saying. We do see the form, they with the neck and whatever, the big belly, belly of the pot. Don't we see the form? Means what we say is, now we say this form really doesn't belong to pot. Tasyapi mrin nishthatva. This form also cannot be there without the material being there, correct? So it is really the form of the material, not the form of the so-called pot which you are saying. Okay, tasyapi mrin nishthatvat we say. They are also there only in the karana. The nama rupa belongs to the karana, really speaking. You cannot say, separate out the nama rupa and make it into an entity by itself. There is no entity like that separately. You cannot separate it out. So even if you say there is a kambugriva, the akara, any kind of form, okay, that form also belongs to the upadana. It is there only in the mrit. Without mrit, how can you have any form? There cannot be any form at all, whatever form it may be, correct? Whether it is pot form, plate form, anything else. Okay, anything made of mud alone has that form. So mrid dravyasya eva hi churna pinda kapala ghatadi akaratvam. So that's what he is now explaining, whether it is a some kind of a powder or a lump or some kind of a shard or pot, etc. All these different forms are really only, it belongs only to the mrid dravya. That alone can have the form. There is nothing called ghata separately. Also, nacha kenachit आगन्तुकेन आकारेण युक्तं कारणमेव कार्यम् इति उच्यते इति कार्यं सदैव इति वाच्यं तथापि कारणमेव सत् आकार विशेष साहि sahityastu tasya karya shabda vachyatvam ityeva siddham. So I think here also it should be nacha kena chid agantukena akarena yuktam karanam eva karyam iti uchyate. So what do we call as a karya really? The karya is nothing but a name given to the karana really. When the karana takes up a transient form. Agantukena akarena means what? A form which comes temporarily, transiently. The karana is always there, but it can take different forms, correct? And each form is called a karya. But basically, the karya itself is nothing but a form of the karana alone. So that form belongs to the karana. That is what we are saying. Any form it may be. So that is what is a karya. That is what is called as a karya, correct? Agantukena akarena yuktam karanam means what? A karana which is endowed with a particular form. Yuktam here can be taken as endowed. A karana, a upadana karana endowed with a particular form is known as an effect or a karya, and that karya is there, we say. In the language, we say part is. So that also he is saying, iti karyam sadeva iti vachyam. People are saying karya is there, pot is there, fine, because pot is useful also. You can carry water only in pot. You cannot carry water just in some mud in the form of powder or anything. But still what? Tathapi karanameva sat. Really speaking, karana alone is there because you cannot separate out the karya. The form belongs to the karana and karana alone is there. Tathapi karanameva sat. So even though in language you may say existent pot, but in reality it is potty existence, correct? So language only is deceiving you, really speaking. So it should be potty existence. Existence alone, sat alone is the real adhisthana for everything, for all nama rupa. So really, tatapi karanameva sat. Therefore, what akara vishesha sahityastu tasya karya shabda vachyatvam ityeva siddham. Therefore, what the akara vishesha which is there in the karana, correct? When the karana which is there along with the a particular form, okay, that is what is known as a particular karya. There is a karya shabda is there like ghata, churna, pinda, whatever it is. So each karya shabda, their vachyatva means what? They indicate a particular form in which the karana is. Therefore, it is all in really the existence is only for the karana. Karana alone exists. So this is very well established. If you analyze this, it is very clear. Therefore, what evam kalatrayepi karanameva asti karyam nasti eva. So in this manner, what? Even while you perceive the karya, really what is there is karana alone. And karana alone is there in all three periods of time. Karya is not there. That's why it is mithya. Ata eva. And that's why Shruti also is saying the same thing. Right? It's not that we are saying this. Shruti is saying what? Ata eva vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam mritika ityeva satyamiti shruti upapadyate. So Chandogya, 6th chapter, makes it very clearly and it gives three analogies here. Not only the mrit, of course, this mritika ityeva satyam is quoted a lot. Then there is a nakanikranda and all that also is given. Iron is given and gold also is given there. So therefore what? Tata jagataha karyasya purvottara jagat karanam vastu ekameva asti. So now what? We are now actually doing we are expanding it to the entire jagat now. Okay. Right now we were talking about Mrit and its karya to start with. But now what? If you consider the entire jagat as a karya, jagataha karyasya, this jagat was not there before, but it was there only as sat, correct? That's why sadeva saumya idam agre asi ekameva dvitiyam. Then there is no jagat, sadeva, correct? Purna madaha. Even if you take the Purna madaha mantraha, Purna madaha, only Purna was there. Purna vastu, jagat was not available with this nama rupa. At the time, Purva Kale, Jagat, Vyakta Jagat is not there. Only Sadvastu is there. Then what? From that Jagat came Purna Madaha, Purnam Idam. When you say Idam, Idam Jagat is there. But even Idam Jagat does not exist. That same Purna Vastu alone exists, correct? Even while you perceive the Jagat, Jagat doesn't have independent existence. What is there is that Purna Vastu alone. That is the Purna Midam we say. Correct? And then what? Purnat Purna Mudachyate. So from that Purna, this Purna Vastu which is now available as a Jagat has come. Now what will happen? If you take this Jagat away, what remains also is same Purna Vastu. Nothing is happening to that. Correct? Even Uttara Kala also, Jagat is not there. Vyakta Jagat is not there, but the same Sadvastu as Purna Vastu is there. Therefore, what? Purvottara Kalayoho Jagat Karanam Vastu Ekameva Asti. So, whether before the Srishti, during the Srishti, after the Srishti is gone, Laya has taken place also, the same Vastu Ekameva Advitiyam Sadvastu alone is there. That is very clearly taught by the Shruti. There is no doubt there. So, I don't know how even these Dvaitins and Vishishtadvaitins even interpret that. Okay, they have to do a lot of gymnastics, I think, to bring to get some meaning. And then what? So now Purvottara Kala he said, Vastu Ekameva Asti. Now what about when the Jagat is perceived? Purnamidam. Correct? That's what Jagat Kalecha Tadeva Asti. Even when you when you have the Jagat Sthiti Kala, when the Jagat is perceived, then also really what is there is only that same Sadvastu, the Purna Vastu alone is there. This Jagat is only Nama Rupa. It is all Vacharampanam Vikaraha. Sadeva Satyam. Like that, Chandogya also says. So in this what, based on this what, Ukta Nyayena, based on this principle, Karana Atirikta Karya Bhava. So based on this principle, we can say that there is no Karya other than the Karana. Karana alone exists. This is very clear. Therefore, what evam jagat karana vastunaha kadachidapi asatva bhavadeva satshabda vachyatvam. Therefore, what this jagat karana vastu, whatever is there, that is always there. It never changes, it never goes away. It is the invariable, unchanging reality. Therefore, that alone can be called as Sat because it never has Asatvam. Okay. So, such really speaking, the Sat Shabda Vachyatvam can only be for this Jagat Karana Vastu, which is there in all three periods of time. In fact, it transcends space time itself because space time also is created. It is Kalasyapi Karana, correct? Akashasyapi Karana, Kalasyapi Karana. That is this Sadvastu. Therefore, what Jagatahatu Swakale Karana Atirekena Satva Bhava Purvottara Kalayoho Sutaram Satva Bhavacha the Sat Shabda Vachyatvam. And for the Jagat, okay, even when it is perceived, it is not other, it is not something, it cannot be counted as something other than the Karana. And also before and after its Srishti, before Srishti and after the Laya, of course, it is not there totally. Sutaram Sattva Bhavat, this Sat Shabda Vachyatvam, the Sat Shabda, the word existence cannot indicate this world. So, in fact, the macro world as we see does not really exist. But even nowadays, even physicists accept that, correct? Some, in fact, recently some physicists got Nobel Prize to because they proved that the world what we see is not really there. Something like that happened last year or something. You can go and check. So that is known to every quantum physicist because what you call as a macro world, you can reduce it to a few particles. Only some three quarks are required. That those are the only building blocks they say. Even those three quarks cannot be there without the observer, at least in one model, correct, in the standard model. But the nature of that observer and all is a problem for them. Some people are not able to accept there has to be a conscious observer. They are spinning something, their own theories and all that. But It doesn't matter. But what I am saying is the Jagan Mithyatvam is very clear even to all the scientists. They have no way of knowing the Satya Vastu because they don't have a pramana for that. They cannot accept Veda as a pramana and they cannot arrive at it because they restrict themselves to only objective world, study of the objective world. As soon as you say subjective means they have allergy. They cannot even study the subject. Although some people are now, there are fields like consciousness studies and all that. And there are people who call it the hard problem of consciousness because many scientists, they trivialize consciousness itself. In fact, there are Advaitins even in scientists. They are called material monists. They say that everything is only matter. In consciousness and all is simply epiphenomenon. There is nothing called mind. Like this, they just dismiss it. That is not proper. The other thing is some other people reduce consciousness, mind, behavior, etc. to simply some kind of whatever electrical communication between neurons and things like that. That also is very reductionist. It cannot explain so many things. They do not, but at least nowadays they have a word for the subjective experience, which is called qualia, I think. If you go and read some of these consciousness studies, they have a word now called qualia, which also has to be now studied and explained, correct? Whether a computer really experiences anything. Nowadays we talk about AI and all that. But AI really doesn't understand anything. When you really say that AI understands something because it is only doing some pattern matching and all that, correct? That understanding as an anubhava only we have. That is the qualia. Now, how are we even going to explain that? Is there any model by which the modern scientists can even explain that or talk about it? All this, they call it the hard problem of consciousness. I don't know where they are going, but some people are at least talking about it. But in general, the Jagan Mithyatvam is clear to everybody. But then what is the basis for the Mithya? Because as soon as you say Mithya, there has to be a Adhisthana, which is Satya. For that only, it is that Satya Vastu is only Upanishadam Brahma, correct? It's only revealed by the Upanishad. They don't have any way of knowing it. Anyway, so this this Jagat cannot be indicated by the word Sat. Therefore, what evam Kalatraya Vyapinaha Jagati Karye Sarvasmin Anugatasya cha Jagat Karana Vastunaha Satvat Katam Anuvrittasya Arthantarasya Abhavaha. Okay. Sudarshana had said that there is no Arthantara which is always continuously available, correct? There is no Vastu other than the all these distinct entities which is having this Anuvritti. That is his claim. But now we have proved what? We are proving that that which pervades all periods of time and also which pervades everything in this Jagat, correct? And which is actually continuously cognized, invariably cognized whenever you are cognizing any object in this world, which is the Jagat Karana Vastu, and it is there. Therefore, how you can say there is nothing other than all these distinct entities, which is which can be available invariably in each and every cognition? You cannot say that. Okay. Now, once we say this, what Purva Pakshi is saying, Jagataha na arthantaram brahma. They are saying, no, no, Brahman cannot be said as something other than Jagat. How can you say that? Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Don't we say that? How can it become Arthantara? Arthantara. See, Brahman is everything. This is the inequality also our Pujya Swamiji used to talk about. Understand that. B is A, but A is not B, he used to say. That means what? Beggar is actor. The, the character beggar is actor. Okay. But actor is not beggar. Understand that even while acting as a beggar, he is earning millions of rupees. So beggar is actor, but actor is not beggar. We have to be clear. Like that, this karya is not other than the karana, but we accept. But karana is other than the karya. Okay, this may look somewhat confusing, but it is very clear when you understand it from the standpoint of beggar is actor, but actor is not beggar. Correct? So that's what now here he is saying very clearly. Now Purva Bhakti is saying, how can you say Brahman is Arthantara, it is other than world means? Yeah, we accept that. What do we say? Karanat karyasya eva arthantaratva abhavaha. So the karya is not separate from the karana. Fine. That's what we also want because karya doesn't have an existence of its own. But karana is separate from karya. That's why I even said previously, I think, see, in your understanding of a clay pot, there is always clay. You cannot even conceive of a clay pot without clay being there. But in your understanding of pot, even while seeing in your understanding of clay, even while seeing the pot, there is no partness. Understand that. In your understanding of clay, there is no partness. But in your understanding of clay pot, there is always clay will be there. Clayness will be there. You cannot get rid of that. That's why we can say that the karya is not other than the karana, but karana is other than the karya. Karya to karanam arthantaram eva. Beautifully is saying that here. So karanat karyasya eva arthantaratva abhavaha. Karya to karanam arthantaram eva. To understand this, D is A is not D. This inequality is applicable always with Satyam and Mithya. In fact, the Satyam Mithya only is not understood by many Advaitins also very clearly, and they go in circles. Okay, and also they mix up Vyavahara and Paramarthika and complete confusion. Okay, in fact, you cannot even talk to such people. They have to get clarity by themselves only. I think it's very difficult to even talk to such people. So here, but Bellangonda is beautifully making it very clear here. Therefore, what he is saying, Yasmat Pritak Yad Upalabhyate Tasmat Tad Arthantaram. Therefore, what he is saying, whatever is available separately, if you can cognize something without cognizing or even conceiving of something, then that is separate from the whatever the other thing. Correct? He is saying that only. Pritak Yad Upalabhyate Yasmat Tasmat Tad Arthantaram. Therefore, only it is, since it is cognized separately from something else, therefore only it is separate from that. It is other than that. And also other way also we have to put yasmat pritag na upalabhyate. Correct? So pritag yat na upalabhyate. So yasmat pritag yan na upalabhyate. Tasmat tanna arthantaram. So the first one applies to the karana. Correct? Pritag karana pritag upalabhyate. But karya pritag na upalabhyate. Therefore karya is not separate from the karana. Tasmat na arthantaram. So this is the general statement. This yasmat, tasmat, yat, tat and all, understand correctly. Now he is giving an example which is easier. So he is saying what? Yata ghatat pritak pataha upalabhyate iti. Ghatat pataha arthantaram. So ghata pata if you take, in your understanding of pata, there is no ghatatvam. In your understanding of ghata, there is no patatvam. In your understanding of pata, there is no ghatatvam. Therefore, they are available to you to cognize separately and therefore they are different from each other. Fine. But what about mrid ghataha? Mridaha pritak ghataha na upalabhyate. But ghata is not available to cognize separately from its upadana karana, which is mrit. Therefore, what? Iti mridaha ghataha na arthantaram. Okay. So that is what one has to understand. Therefore, what in this manner, what evam ghatat pritak mrid upalabhyate na iti na. So in this manner, what this Mrit, but all these Nayayikas and all say that. They say that Ghata, the Ghatatvam does not belong to the Mrit according to them. The Ghatatvam belongs to Ghata, they say. I don't know how they can say, but that itself leads to all kinds of problems, correct? When the Ghata, to which the Ghatatvam belongs, if it's a separate entity, but why are you even calling it Ghata? Does it already have a Ghatatvam or not? If you start questioning like that, again all sorts of problems will come, correct? We have already seen that. Vyaghata, contradiction will come, or they have to say, or this Atma Shraya dosha, Anyonya Shraya dosha, Anavastha dosha, Chakraka dosha, all kinds of doshas will come. So you cannot really establish a, a part other than its cause. Okay. And therefore what? Ghatat pritak mrit upalabhyate. That is fine. So but the mrit is available other than ghata. Okay. Na iti na. That means na iti na means double negative. Don't get confused. He's saying it's not that clay is not available as other than pot. Okay. That means it is available. Into upalabhyate eva he says. But it is available. Therefore, what? Ghatat mrit arthantaram. Therefore, the mrit is an arthantara with reference to the ghata. But ghata is not an arthantara with reference to mrit. This is the main thing we have to understand. Therefore, what? Tatha brahmanaha pritak jagat na upalabhyate iti na brahmanaha jagat arthantaram. Therefore, what? Now extend it to the entire world now. So, in this manner, this jagat is not available other than as Brahman. Therefore, jagat is not a separate entity other than Brahman. But Brahman is available by itself. Brahma tu jagataha pritak upalabhyate eva iti jagataha arthantaram. But Brahman is available even when all Dvaita is gone. Brahman as I is available. Correct? The entire space-time is gone in deep sleep. But I am there, correct? Nobody can say I was not there. I am the one who is sleeping, etc. Therefore, Atmataya Brahma upalabhyate eva. Even though Jagat is not available to cognize, space-time itself may not be there, but I am there. That's how we can even understand how can existence be not in space-time. Because our general understanding is anything if you say it exists, immediately you will ask where, when, right? Where is it existing? When did it exist? Or is it existing now, etc. That means our idea of existence is always qualified by space-time coordinates. But understand, existence need not be in space-time. Existence is existence. And space-time is borrowing existence from, or space-time exists in this Sadvastu, which is I, which is Atma. That's why I transcend space-time. I, as Atma, as Brahma, I transcend the space-time. I am not in space-time, and I transcend this entire Jagat. If I transcend space-time means I have transcended this entire Srishti itself. And I am there. Pritak, I am available. Pritak upalabhyate eva iti jagataha arthantaram. So the Brahma is other than this Jagat, but Jagat is not other than Brahma. Therefore, what? Tasmad asti eva jagataha vyavrittam jagati anugatam cha sat shabdavachyam Brahma jagataha arthantaram. Therefore, what? Therefore, there is something which is distinct from this world, but which actually continues invariably even when you are cognizing the Jagat, correct? Jagati Anugatam, which is still there in Jagat, but distinct from Jagat, and which alone can be called as Sat existence, which is indicated by the word Sat, that Jagataha Arthantaram, that which is different from this Jagat, this Brahma Asti Eva, it is there. Once we say this, what? Now they come back to their original Pramana Sambandharha. Okay, what is he saying? He is saying this pramana sambandha arhaha, it is not like that. Again they come to that. Tat pramana sambandharham na iti na vachyam. So nacha tat pramana sambandharham na iti vachyam. See, he is now saying, but that Brahman cannot be cannot have any sambandha with any pramana. Therefore, and according to their definition, unless there is a pramana sambandha, astitvam cannot or sat, it cannot be sat shabda vachya. So the same point they are repeating now. Pramana sambandharham na iti. They are saying, now we say what? Na vachyam, you cannot say. Why? It has pramana sambandha. Upanishad is revealing this Brahman. It may not reveal the existence of Brahman, but in one way we can say that also. Upanishad cannot reveal the existence of Atma alone, but Brahman is actually revealed by Upanishad only, correct? That's why it is Upanishadam Brahma. That Atma being Brahman, only Upanishad has to reveal. Atma Sattvam, Upanishad cannot reveal. But Atma being Brahman or Brahman as Jagat Karanam and all is revealed by Upanishad. So there is, so Brahman has Pramana Sambandharha, Pranatvam is there. So Upanishad, Eka Gamyatvat, and also what Vidvat Pratyakshatvat cha iti. Also, Upanishad also is revealing that, and Vidvat Anubhava is there, Vidvat Pratyaksha is there to back it up. So don't say all these things. Okay. Therefore, what mainly we say, Yaduktam Sarve Padartaha Paraspara Vyavrittaha Eva iti. But Ativa Tucham, he says. Okay, he became irritated by now, I think, reading all these things. So he says, whatever was said, that all the padarthas are mutually distinct. Correct? Paraspara vyavrittaha, and there is nothing which is anusyuta within that. That is ativa tucham, he says. It is, it cannot, it has to be just given up totally. It is garbage. Okay, why? Because ghata patayoho paraspara vyavrittatve satyapi mridghatayoho tad abhavena sarve padarthaha iti niyantum ashakyatvat. Okay, to start with, what he is saying is, how can you say sarve padarthaha? Okay, ghata and pata are distinct from each other. That may be true. But what about Bridh and Ghata? They are not distinct. So how can you say all the things are mutually distinct? You cannot say that. There is no niyama. There is no universal rule like that. Okay. Now, once we say this, what they come back? No, no. We are we are only saying that between the karyas, vyavritatvam is there, not between the karya and karana. Okay, that they can say, correct? Or we can also say this. It can be taken as Siddhanti also. Siddhanti is further saying, what he is saying, you cannot have a universal rule like this. Why? Because karyanam eva parasparam vyavritatvam. You can say one karya is other than another karya, but the karya is not other than the karana. Natu karya karanayoho. Therefore, your statement that sarve padarthaha vyavritta paraspara vyavrittaha doesn't hold good. It can hold good between karyas, but what about karya and karana? They are not distinct from each other. So, okay. Once we say this, what they come back. Now they say, nacha karyanam eva iti poyam niyamaha karananam cha parasparam vyavritatvam asti. Okay, now he is coming and saying, why are you saying only between the karyas there is distinctness? Between different karanas also they are there, correct? Between one particular karya and karana, you may say it may not be there. But what about there is Mrid Ghata? Then Suvarna Kundala is there. Now the Mrid and Suvarna are different, correct? Two karanas are different from each other also. That's what he is pointing out. So, karyanam eva iti koyam niyamaha is asking. Karananam cha parasparam vyavritatvam asti. There is distinctness between different causes also. Like he is saying, see, Suvarna tantu, Vritikadinam, Karananam, Darshanaditi, Vachyam. Okay, iti na Vachyam, na we have to connect from there. Now he is saying what, like even the yarn, gold, whatever, the mud, etc. These are all the causes, respectively, for cloth and some jewelry and pot, etc. but they are all different, no, that is seen. So karanas are also different from each other. If you say that, what, you cannot say that. Why? Tepi swarnadayaha padarthaha karyabhutaha eva iti. Whatever you say as swarna, tantu, vrid, etc., they are only apekshikam. With reference to particular karya, they can be called karna, but they are not like adi karna or anything, correct? They are also karya only. Like, even scientifically, you can, if you say mud pot, but mud itself, you can then say it is molecules or it is silica or whatever, silica molecules. Then molecules will become atoms, atoms will become subatomic particles, etc. So they are all not ultimate karana, they are also karya only. So he is saying tepi suvarnadayaha padarthaha karyabhutaha eva iti. Karanam hi brahma ekameva anaditvat. Karana means only Brahman alone. That is the only anadi karana. Correct? So therefore what? Yasya hi adihi vidyate tat karyameva. So anything which has beginning, it is all karya only. The only karana which is anadi is Brahman, which is the karana for everything. Okay. So that which doesn't have any beginning alone can be the karana. Therefore, tasmat karyatvam eva vyavritatva prayojakam. So now another reason for vyavritatvam distinctness is what? Just because it is a karya, it is vyavrita only. Correct? Any karya that means becomes mithya. Simply, that is in fact that is the whole idea of the karya karana prakriya in the Upanishad. Why are we even teaching Brahman as Jagat Karanam? To only show that the Jagat is karya, therefore Jagat is mithya. Once Jagat is mithya, Jagat karanatvam of Brahman also is mithya. Both are washed away. You do apavada and Brahman is Brahman as it is. Correct? That is the karya karana prakriya. Therefore, vyavritatva, for that the prayojaka is karyatvam itself, but not karanatvam, natu karanatvam iti kritva sati anugate karanavastuni avyavritte katam uchyate sarve padarthaha vyavrittaha iti. So now this karana is not vyavritta. It cannot have vyavrittatvam because it is anugata. It is always there. The karana vastu is there everywhere. That is why it is Vishnu Vyapnoti. It is so that this tatam and all we say, correct? Maya tatamidam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina. Now Bhagavan says, Matstani sarva bhutani nachaham tesh avastitaha. Also, you can take that verse also to understand this. Previously, we said, correct? B is A is not B. In the 9th chapter, Bhagavan beautifully says, correct? Matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avastitaha, he says. Immediately, he also says, Nacha matstani bhutani pashyame yoga maishwaram and all that. Those verses you can only understand if you understand Satyam Mithya properly. So, like that, Karna is Anugata always there, therefore there is no Vyavritatvam there, therefore you can never say Sarve Padarthaha Vyavritaha iti Katham Uchyate. How can you say that? You cannot say. Therefore, what? Nacha Avyavritta Ananugatam Vastu Brahmeti Bhanyate. Okay, now he says, but is it not accepted that this Brahma Vastu is Avyavritta and Ananugata? This is where the problem is. So now you quote the Apavada Vakya. See, yeah, Brahman is really Avyavrita and Ananugata. Why? Because this entire Dvaita is Mithya, non-existent Dvaita. Then where should Brahman go now? Only if there is a second thing, really it can have Anugatatvam or Avyavritatvam and all. We are only talking from the standpoint of Vyavahara. Okay. So even if you say Avyavritatva, Ananugatatvam and all, that Vastu alone is Brahman, that also is correct, but that is the Apavada part of it. We have to understand iti vachanat. He is asking now, Katham Anugatatvam Brahmanaha iti vacham. How can you say Brahman is Anugata? Brahman is continuously available in each and every cognition means. Now the answer is what he is saying. Paramartataha Ananugatam Avyavrittam eva Brahma. So we also say what? In reality, because Brahman is Ekameva Advitiyam, where is the question of Anugata or being distinctness as a quality, it is nirguna. You cannot have any quality like distinctness or continue whatever invariability like that and all. Nothing. Those are all only from the standpoint of the world. When Dvaita Jagat is there, to account for it, we have to say all that. So paramartataha ananugatam avyavrittam eva brahma tadanim dvaitasya eva abhava, because in reality there is no dvaita. Therefore, that is correct. And therefore, what satihi dvaite, only if dvaita is there, tad anugatatvam, tad avyavritatvam cha brahmanaha sambhavati. So only when we talk from the standpoint of dvaita, correct? So these are all only upadeshad ayam vadaha, like that Harikakara says. So all these things only to give you upadesha. For teaching purposes only we are using this anugatatvam, avyavritatvam and all we have to talk. Once you have understood it, there is no dvaita itself. Then all these things also go along with that. Therefore, what? Vyavaharatastu dvaite anugatam dvaita avyavritattancha yatha mriddavyam ghate anugatam ghata avyavritattancha tadvate. So in the Vyavahara, this Brahman is anugata in each and every dvaita vastu, and it is also avyavritta, means it is not distinct from any vastu. That is how we have this anantatvam. When we say this vastu parichedatvam also is not there for Brahman, because in each and every vastu also Brahman alone is cognized. Brahman alone is available as its very existence. That's how we say that there is no vastu paricheda for Brahman. Therefore, when it is like again he is giving the mrid ghata example only. Mrid dravyam ghate anugatam ghata ghatat avyavrittancha. Ghata avyavrittatvam is there. Therefore, something same similarly for Brahman and Jagat. Therefore, what finally this topic is over. Tasmat darshita anumanasya na ashraya siddhihi iti sankshepaha. So whatever anumana we have given, that anumana is not having siddha sadhanata nor ashraya siddhi. It is a proper anumana. It is useful anumana. It makes people clearly understand that Brahman alone is Satyam. Jagat is Mithya, and there is no real one should not conflate one with the other. For that purpose, this Anumana is useful. Next topic is Brahmanaha Chidrupatva-upapattih. That we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.